insurance company account debit to asset account, whatever claim is admitted by the insurance company, and you compare, like when you dispose of the asset, you compare book value with the sale price. In this case, the book value of the asset disposed, you compare it with the claim submitted to the insurance company and accepted by the insurance company. Claim submission is not sufficient, acceptance is sufficient. So whatever claim is accepted by the insurance company, you compare it with the book value. So most of the time is 100%. You cannot claim profit from the insurance company. This is a principle of indemnity as per the Contract Act. Whenever your assets are insured, you cannot earn profit from insurance company. So whenever the claim is submitted, most of the time the insurance company will accept the claim and they will pay the insurance company the In that case, you cannot have profit on disposal. You always be having loss on disposal. So it is more or just like you calculate profit and loss on disposal in case of sale. Similarly, you are calculating loss on disposal just by comparing the depreciation with the insurance claim accepted by the company. So these are the
Hello.
corresponding entry. Yes,
Excuse me, ma'am.
yes,
Ma'am, I want to ask you a question. Can I ask, ma'am?
yeah, sure, go ahead.
मैम अगर इंश्योरेंस क्लेम कभी कभार ऐसा होता है कि इंस्टेंटली नहीं मिलता, उसको मिलने में टाइम मिलता है, कभी कभार नेक्स्ट ईयर भी होता है, तो मैम उसमें उसमें हम क्या करेंगे मैम?
ये बताया आपको। सेकंड एंट्री में क्या है, व्हेन इंश्योरेंस क्लेम बिकम ड्यू, योर एंट्री विल बी इंश्योरेंस कंपनी अकाउंट डेबिट टू एसेट अकाउंट, and when the
Okay.
claim is submitted, then the last entry will be done. And if side by side instantly you are getting cash out of insurance company, then you can simply write bank account debit to asset account, claim received. So it is just like, suppose you write here na, by bank, by P&L. So here you write by insurance company and by loss on disposal. Okay.
Okay,
So
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
so that is the point here. Okay, so this is regarding abnormal loss of asset. Now, treatment, I think you can easily work out the book value, compare it with the claim, and work out the loss on disposal. And this loss on disposal, later on, at the end of the year, it is transferred to P&L account. Now, let's
Ma'am,
come to the... Yes,
good morning, ma'am. Pratham Dua here, ma'am.
हाँ जी बोलिए।
मैम एक्चुअली मैम एक क्वेरी थी, ये जो मैम आपने सेकंड और थर्ड एंट्री है ऑन इंश्योरेंस क्लेम, मैम इसमें एक डाउट था कि पहले हमें लॉस ऑन डिस्पोजल ऑफ एसेट की एंट्री नहीं बनानी चाहिए, जब हमें लॉस पता चलेगा तभी तो हम क्लेम मांगेंगे।
बेटा लॉस तो यहाँ पे पता चल गया ना।
मैम वो
लॉस
तो
क्या है?
डेप्रिसिएशन हो।
लॉस क्या है? लॉस है आपका कि यहाँ पे आपने बुक वैल्यू लिया, सपोज आई एक्सप्लेन इट टू यू। लेट्स से आपकी एसेट जो थी वो 1 लाख की थी, ठीक है। आपने उसको डिस्पोज किया, आपने डेप्रिसिएशन चार्ज किया 10,000 इन द ईयर ऑफ लॉस। बुक वैल्यू लेफ्ट इज 90,000, ठीक है। 10,000 आपने यहाँ डेप्रिसिएशन लगाया, डेप्रिसिएशन डेबिट टू एसेट अकाउंट 10,000. Now your book value is 90,000, which has been lost to you on account of fire. Fine. Now you submit the claim equivalent to 90,000. आप 90 से ऊपर का क्लेम तो डाल ही नहीं सकते इन एनी केस। फाइन, 90,000 का आपने क्लेम सबमिट करा, आपने पेपर्स फाइल करे कंपनी में। कंपनी सेज दैट ओनली 85,000 विल बी गिवन टू यू, क्लेम हैज बिकम ड्यू फॉर 85,000। तो पहले क्लेम ड्यू होगा, आपने इंश्योरेंस कंपनी से अब आपको कितने लेने हैं? 85 आपने एंट्री करी, इंश्योरेंस कंपनी अकाउंट डेबिट 85,000 टू एसेट अकाउंट. अब एसेट स्टैंड इन द बुक्स एट 90,000, क्लेम सबमिटेड एंड एक्सेप्टेड बाय द कंपनी इज 85,000. तो कितना लॉस हुआ? 5,000. आपने फिर 5,000 की एंट्री कर दी. लॉस ऑन डिस्पोजल ऑफ एसेट अकाउंट डेबिट 5,000 टू एसेट अकाउंट. So these two entries are interchangeable. These two entries are basically recorded at the same time when claim is accepted by the company and simultaneously loss is booked. And then when the company gives you cash, maybe after 15 days or 1 month or 2 months, then you make the entry bank account debit to insurance company account. Fine?
Yes, ma'am. Fine. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So this is regarding abnormal loss. Now let's
Ma'am,
come
I
to the
have a
next.
query, ma'am.
Don't interrupt in between. Okay, you can ask
Okay,
your
ma'am.
queries. Ask your queries at the end of the lecture. I will wind up the lecture 5-10 minutes before so that you can ask your queries. Okay. Now let me come
Okay.
to the next aspect.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Oh no. Okay. So next thing is, this is regarding abnormal loss. Next thing is exchange of assets. Now exchange of assets means what this concept is. Let me come to the screen first. This is your exchange of old assets with the new one. Now, this exchange of assets are what? Generally, whenever we buy a new asset, outright cash is purchased. So the entry is asset account debit to bank account. So monetary value is there and cash is paid and asset is acquired. But sometimes what happens, we exchange the asset. So your old assets are exchanged with the new one on a barter system. Not exactly the barter system, because most of the time certain amount of cash is also paid. That is known as exchange of old assets with the new asset. Now such exchange need proper accounting if the transaction has commercial substance. Now this particular thing is very important, commercial substance. Now whenever you are exchanging the asset, the transaction will be having a commercial substance if it is adding up certain value to you. Now if just for the sake of changing the model you are changing your asset, then and it is not affecting your productivity remains the same, in that case we can say that this transaction doesn't has a commercial substance. So commercial substance means, suppose your old asset is giving you an output of, let's say, 50,000 per unit, and you are exchanging it for another asset which is giving you an output of, let's say, 60,000 per unit. So productivity is going up. Okay, some of you having open mic, please switch off your mic. Okay, so if transaction has a commercial substance, then that such exchange, it must be recorded in the books of account. Now most of the time you say that it's very easy, नई एसेट आ गई, पुरानी एसेट चली गई, जो भी कैश दिया हम रिकॉर्ड कर लेंगे and we can work out the profit and loss. But it is not so easy, because there is a concept of fair value as per accounting standard 10, which is added to exchange of asset. And what is this concept of fair value? This concept of fair value is what? It is the price. What is the fair value? Fair value, it is the price at which a market transaction will happen. Now, it is a price at which the buyer is willing to buy the asset, old asset, and a seller is willing to sell the asset. So the price at which actually the transaction is happening and where both parties are agreeing, that is known as fair value of the asset. And it must be supplemented by your certain records. Now, I'll just give you one idea. Suppose you want to exchange your old car, fine, with the new one. So you go to the company where exchange, suppose exchange mela is happening, and you take your old car to them and ask them, if this is my car, it is 5-year-old or 4-year-old, and I assume its book value is 3 lakh rupees. Because whenever you purchase the asset, you estimate na कि 3 साल बाद इसकी value इतना होगा. So you assume its book value is 3 lakh, तो इसका exchange price 3 lakh तो मिलना ही चाहिए मुझे. So you go to the company and ask them what is the value, what is the fair value of this asset, of this car. So in that case, the car dealer, he will analyze the condition of the car, because external condition, so you can say that it's in a top-notch position, no scratch, and internal fabric is good, and everything is good. But when they check it internally, its machinery part, its clutch, brakes, whatever nitty-gritty things are there, and they put a value that its fair value is 2,60,000. So book value which you are asking them is 3 lakh, but the price which is quoted by the dealer, it is 2,40,000 or 2,50,000, whatever be the price the dealer is quoting. And suppose you are willing to exchange your asset at 2,50,000. So in this case, the book value is 3 lakh, but the fair value is 2,50,000, the price at which both parties are agreeing to enter into a transaction. So this is the fair value of your old asset. But suppose you are not agreeing to the dealer. You say, "नहीं, मैंने तो 3 लाख ही लेना है. This is the book value, and I am not willing to negotiate." So in that case, fair value will not be 250. Your book value stands 3 lakh. You go to another dealer. Again, that dealer says, "I will give you 2,70,000. This is the fair value." So now you assume first dealer has quoted 2,50,000, he is quoting 2,70,000, and you are willing to do a transaction with that dealer. So now the fair value of the asset is 2,70,000. So 2,70,000, this is the value at which both parties are agreeing to enter into a contract, and they want to willing to purchase and sell a particular asset. That becomes the fair value. So if the fair value is there, now this fair value, it can be for your old asset, fair value it can be for your new asset. And most of the time the valuers are sitting in the market who put a value to your plant and machinery, to your building, to your furniture and fitting, whatever asset you want to sell, be it your ornaments, diamond, gold. So fair valuers are there, and they put a value, and that is treated as a fair value of that asset. Now, so the concept of fair value has been entered. So what we are going to do in this case, whenever the asset is exchanged, first of all, check this point. First point, determine the agreed price of new asset. Now, here, what is the agreed price? The price at which new asset will be acquired. This price, you can say, ये तो पता ही होता है क्या agreed price, but no, there are 3 rules. How to determine the agreed price? Let's come to the rule. When value of new asset is given, then this is the agreed price. Now suppose if you are buying a new asset and its agreed price is given, that the price of new asset is 3 lakh or 4 lakh. So that is known as the agreed price at which new asset will be acquired. Second, when value of new asset is not given, sometimes they simply say कि I am surrendering the old one and buying the new asset. But at what price the new asset is purchased, that is not given. So if new assets agreed price is not given, then its agreed price will be fair value or book value of the old asset plus cash paid. So it's quite easy. तो अगर price given नहीं है, तो the price at which you are surrendering your old asset, if fair value is given, then fair value, and if fair value is not given, then book value plus cash price. So whatever cash extra which is paid by you, so the
Hello?
new asset will
Hello?
be acquired. Yes.
Hello. Ma'am, please repeat this concept of agreed price. I'm not able to understand.
Agreed price is the price at which the new asset will be purchased. If the new asset purchase price is given, the new asset is acquired for 3 lakh, new asset is acquired for 5 lakh. This is the price inclusive of GST, and it is written in the sale invoice. If that price is quoted by the seller, agar quoted price is given, that is your agreed price at which new asset will be acquired. If agreed price of the new asset is not given, तो किस price पे नई asset acquire की जाएगी? That price, suppose it is given, I have an old plant and I want to replace it with the new plant. Fine, I go to the dealer and I will show him कि this is my plant which I am surrendering. अब बताओ मुझे ये old plant देने के बाद कितना extra cash देना पड़ेगा? तो he will say, I will take your old plant whose book value is supposed 2 lakh, and you are supposed to pay 2.5 lakh along with it. तो आपका प्राइस क्या हो गया नई एसेट का, 2 लाख का आपने ओल्ड प्लांट लिया, दैट इज द बुक वैल्यू और द फेयर वैल्यू, प्लस 2.5 लाख आपने कैश दिया, तो आपका नया प्लांट 4.5 लाख का आ जाएगा। तो दिस इज योर सेकंड रूल कि अगर आपका न्यू एसेट का एग्रीड प्राइस गिवन नहीं है, सो इन दैट केस the book value or the fair value of old asset plus cash paid, that is known as the new assets agreed price. Fine. Okay. Third point is, suppose if value of new asset as well as fair value of old asset both are given. अब sometime what happen कि आपको न्यू एसेट का प्राइस भी गिवन है और ओल्ड एसेट का प्राइस फेयर वैल्यू, नॉट द प्राइस, फेयर वैल्यू plus cash paid, if both things are given. In that case, what will be the price at which new asset will be acquired? That will be the least of the fair value of both. Now, if this is very important, if fair value of both assets are given, so just use the logic. And according logic says whatever be the least value of both, that will be the price at which new asset will be acquired. I will explain it with the help of one example. Suppose you are buying a new plant whose fair value is 5 lakh. ठीक है, quoted price 5 lakh है. This is the price of the new plant. ओल्ड प्लांट का फेयर वैल्यू आपने चेक करा, उसका है 4 लाख फेयर वैल्यू. Along with 4 lakh, you are paying 1.8 lakh, that is 1,80,000 कैश दे रहे हो आप. ठीक है, अब आपने कितना वैल्यू आपका आउटफ्लो हो रहा है, ओल्ड प्लांट का फेयर वैल्यू 4 लाख और कैश दे रहे हो 1,80,000. तो 5,80,000 worth of money in terms of cash and kind which you are spending. ठीक है, अब आपको न्यू प्लांट कितने का मिल रहा है, 6 लाख का. 6 लाख कोटेड प्राइस है. अब जस्ट थिंक रैशनली, कैन द सेलर एक्सेप्ट लेस एंड गिव यू मोर? नो ना. ही इज एक्सेप्टिंग व्हाट? ही इज एक्सेप्टिंग ओल्ड प्लांट वर्थ रुपीज 4 लाख and cash he is accepting 1,80,000. So he is accepting in total 5,80,000 और आपको प्लांट का कोटेड प्राइस कितना दे रहा है, वो 6 लाख. ठीक है, तो एज अ रैशनल सेलर दिस विल नॉट बी अ रैशनल डिसीजन. तो आपका एग्रीड प्राइस क्या होगा, लीस्ट ऑफ देम. लीस्ट ऑफ देम मीन्स यू कैन सेफली एज्यूम कि 5,80,000 इज द एग्रीड प्राइस. 6 लाख नहीं होगा क्योंकि विद सेलर he will make a rational decision. अगर he is agreeing upon 5,80,000 तो प्लांट की वर्थ 5,80,000 की है. This is basically a principle substance over form. तो substance matter rather than what is written in the paper. तो substance क्या कहता है? Substance says if you are surrendering 5,80,000 and acquiring plant whose so-called quoted price is 6 lakh, तो आपका प्लांट 6 लाख का नहीं है, 580 का ही है. तो आपको क्या करना है, यू हैव टू कंपेयर द फेयर वैल्यू ऑफ बोथ. तो उधर से 6 लाख न्यू प्लांट का कोटेड प्राइस और इधर से फेयर वैल्यू आपके ओल्ड प्लांट की अलॉन्ग विद कैश, तो इट विल गिव यू 580. तो लीस्ट ऑफ देम विल बी टेकन एज द एग्रीड प्राइस ऑफ ओल्ड एसेट. फाइन. सपोज इफ आई रिवर्स द पोजीशन, लेट्स से आपका ओल्ड प्लांट, तो आपका न्यू प्लांट का कोटेड प्राइस 5 लाख है, ओल्ड प्लांट का आपका फेयर वैल्यू 4 लाख है और कैश आप 580 दे रहे हो. ठीक है, तो अगेन नाउ यू आर पेइंग मोर. अब 4 लाख वर्थ ऑफ प्लांट दे रहे हो और 1,80,000 कैश दे रहे हो, 580, और आपको प्लांट वर्थ कितने का मिल रहा है, 5 लाख का. तो इट मीन्स अगेन लीस्ट क्या है आपका, लीस्ट तो 5 लाख है, 5 इधर से है और 580 सेलर की तरफ से है, यानी कि बायर की तरफ से, हु इज सरेंडरिंग द प्लांट. तो ऑब्वियसली योर प्लांट वर्थ इज नॉट 580, प्लांट वर्थ इज जस्ट 5 लाख. सो सेलर is not going to give you accepting more and giving you less, and you are not going to accept it. So it means seller is not agreeing on your fair value. He is assuming it that whatever you are giving him, it is worth rupees 5 lakh. So that 5 lakh is the agreed price of new asset. Fine. So this is the three rules which you are following to determine the agreed price. Just briefly, quickly, if value of new asset is given, the quoted price of new asset is given, that is your agreed price. If quoted price of new asset is not given, then fair value or book value of old asset plus cash paid, that will be your agreed price. And if both values are given, new asset value and fair value of old asset along with cash paid, both are given, you are going to take the least of them, that will be your agreed price. So what you are going to do, first determine the agreed price. Once agreed price is determined, calculate part exchange allowance. Part exchange allowance is nothing but agreed price minus cash paid. Whatever cash you are paying, deduct it from agreed price, that is your part exchange allowance. We club it first and second in the form of entry. What will be the entry? New asset is acquired, asset account debit with the amount of agreed price. To cash account, you pay cash on exchange, and whatever difference is there, agreed price minus cash paid. This one, agreed price minus cash paid. What is this? This is P, part exchange allowance. So to part exchange allowance account, difference is posted here. Okay.
What is
Now
ma'am, what is part exchange allowance account?
this is agreed price minus cash paid. Whatever agreed price is there, you have already determined the agreed price following these three rules, and deducting the cash paid. This is the allowance which you are having for exchanging the asset. मान लो आपका न्यू एसेट 6 लाख की है, आपने 1 लाख कैश दे दिया, तो 6 lakh minus 1 lakh, it means 5 lakh worth of allowance is there through which you can exchange your asset. So that is your part exchange allowance. So this exchange allowance, it is compared with the book value. So part exchange allowance minus book value exchange, you compare both of them and your profit and loss on exchange will be there. तो अगर आपका पार्ट एक्सचेंज अलाउंस जैसे यहाँ पे 5 लाख आ रहा था, तो अगर आप एसेट 580 की दे रहे हो, तो अलाउंस 5 लाख का है, 580 की एसेट जा रही है, तो 80,000 लॉस हो जाएगा. तो पार्ट एक्सचेंज अलाउंस दिस वन माइनस बुक वैल्यू. अगर आपका ये वैल्यू पॉजिटिव आ रहा है तो प्रॉफिट है, यानी कि अगर अलाउंस इज मोर, बुक वैल्यू एक्सचेंज इज लेस, देयर विल बी प्रॉफिट ऑन एक्सचेंज. और अगर आपका अलाउंस इज लेस, बुक वैल्यू सरेंडर्ड इज मोर, देयर विल बी लॉस ऑन एक्सचेंज. सो व्हाट विल बी द एंट्री? पार्ट एक्सचेंज अलाउंस अकाउंट डेबिट, दिस वन to old asset, you compare it with the book value, not the, this is just book value, not the fair value, book value, and difference is posted on profit or loss on exchange. Loss has debit balance, a loss is debited, and profit has credit balance, profit is credited. And whatever new asset you are buying, obviously you will be using it, and depreciation on old asset, depreciation on new asset, at the end of the year it will be transferred to profit and loss account, and this profit on exchange and loss on exchange, it is also transferred to profit and loss account. So
Hello.
quickly,
Hello.
yes,
मैम मशीनरी जो हम उसको एक्सचेंज में दे रहे हैं, जो सेकंड हैंड मशीनरी है, ओल्ड मशीनरी है, उसकी हम बुक वैल्यू कंसीडर करेंगे या फेयर वैल्यू?
most of the time book value. Okay.
Okay.
Not. So it
Hello.
will be more clear. Yes.
Hello, ma'am. In your former example, the buyer was paying 580, and the seller wants to sell it for 6 lakh rupees. Ma'am, we will consider 580 as a book value. Ma'am, but why a rational seller will sell it for 580?